Alright guys, Red here. I've seen online that you could possibly boost performance by disabling hyper-threading on your Intel CPU, so I thought I'd do a little experiment and capture the performance difference. So on the left is hyper-threading off, on the right is hyper-threading enabled, and there's a few interesting things here. With hyper-threading enabled on my system, which is an 8700K and a 2080 Ti with 32GB of RAM, in Area 18 I'm never really tapped out with hyper-threading enabled. All cores on the CPU hover around 80 to 90% and the GPU is underutilized as well, which doesn't really make sense. When I disable hyper-threading and I come into Area 18 proper, all cores hit 100%, and when that isn't happening, then my GPU is at 100% utilization. So you'll see as it starts off, HT off actually looks like it's maybe got a couple of frames advantage, maybe 2, 3, 4 frames before we get to the train station, and it's at that point that all cores would be 100% on HT off. So that's a noticeable difference. Obviously this isn't like for like, it's very hard to get like for like, the time of day might be different, it's a completely different server, so that's within, you know, what could be considered negligible, but still gets up to at least 5 frames at points. But things sort of change as we go around this corner on the train. This is traditionally a very bad area and I always drop into the 20s here. But with the hyper-threading enabled, I seem to be able to handle that a lot better. HT off was still under 30 there, whereas hyper-threading recovered a lot easier and stayed a higher frame rate. And as the pedal comes off again, we see hyper-thread off starting to take a little bit of a lead again, not much, a couple of frames. To me, I would say this is probably not worth disabling for my specific system at 4K running with the settings that I'm using, but again, it could just be my system. It could just be that the GPU is the bottleneck the majority of the time. But let me know how this works out for you if you try this at any point. And that's it, just a little experiment. 07 guys.